Josue Soto from Orlando. Obviously, hopefully I pronounced your name right.
Yeah,
Did I?
you did.
Okay,
Actually,
good. We got this. See, Latinos. There you go. Yeah. Every time I think of Miami and Orlando and Florida, I always think of Mr. Worldwide. So we go, Dale. All right. So there
you'll find.
is Mr. 805. Dude, you've been using Follow Up Boss for a little bit, and you have some interesting systems, and interesting in a great way, because Aberi sent me a few things about you. And the first question is guest systems setup, like for ISAs and for active clients. I want to know more about that, because we're actually in the process of seeing what we're missing on the back end of Follow Up Boss, and just tweaking it, because we're always looking to see what else can we do. So tell me what that is about first.
Well, when it comes to an active lead, is that what you're referring to? An active lead?
Yeah, like what happens on the side of the Follow Up Boss system when you have guest users? So not necessarily what happens with the active leads coming through, but the guest users, because we've gone over what happens when an online lead comes through, or that whole process, right? But the guest users, I don't think we've ever gone too much into it, man.
Well, when it comes to the guest user, I always have, the way I run my operations and my playbook is I have a CRM manager that really runs the whole system for the Soto Legacy Group, and his responsibility is basically to oversee the whole entire operation from the lead coming in. And once it funnels in through Whitley, the Whitley platform, and his responsibility is to make sure that our Whitley ISAs, the lead assists, are following up on the 7 to 15 touches. And once everything is finally pre-approved and everything, the thing what we do a little different than everyone else, Tristan, is that our leads are not quickly funneled into our agents. What we do is, what I try to do first from the beginning is, once they flow in, our CRM manager and Whitley lead assist already following up with the AI, and he's following up with the 7 to 15 touches. And once that's following in, our partners, our lender partners, hey, they have an ISA department, so they're following up also at the same time. So my CRM manager has two responsibilities. His responsibility is to basically follow up with all the Whitley Lead Assist department, AI, and also our lender CRISA department. And once they're fully pre-approved, that's when we distribute it to the team. And the reason why I like to run it this way is because a lot of times we have, say, a team of 10 or 15. We start putting these in the pond. They're not following up with them. So what I like to do is I like to run my operation basically more close knit, that my CRM manager is in full control of everything. And what happens is, once that lead assist and that lead is fully pre-approved, that's when we distribute it over to our agents. But first, our CRM manager basically get in contact with them, congratulating them together with the ISA lending department. Then he sends a video to my agent, basically doing an intro with the client, saying, hey, how are you? Thank you for contacting the Soto Legacy Group. This is Ron. I am the CRM manager and assistant to Josue Soto from Soto Legacy Group, team leader. Nice. Our agent, Johnny David, will be following up with you within the next 2 or 3 minutes, introducing himself with a video, also with a follow-up call. That's one of the things that we've done, and it's been working really well. Because a lot of times, Tristan, I mean, you and I have been doing this for a while, is that unless you make that video content, that personal contact, they're not sure who they're talking to, especially when you're following up with so many people, so many contacts. Like, who are you? Who you belong to? So when we realized that video was key for us, is really our ratios have turned, man. It's been phenomenal. So,
all right. What do you think is the key factor in your business going from 15 million to 33 million, adding 9 agents over the last year and a half? Yeah. What has been the key difference here, if you could pin it down to one or a few things so that we can learn?
First one is implemented the right systems. I think a lot of times we just, until we dial in on it, I think a lot of times I was trying to play around with too many things at the one time until I finally figured it out how to really get this system working, the playbook itself. And I can share that with you guys. I have the playbook also, and I'd be happy to share with you and everyone else. And
Please
once
do,
I
man.
yeah, yeah, I'll share it all with you. I don't have a problem with it. And what's good about it is you can tweak it whatever which way you want. Remember, everyone's run their operation completely different, Tristan. So
Yeah.
with us, it works more efficiently because we understand exactly what the lead is doing. So I will start off by saying, create your systems correctly from the beginning, even though we all go through a lot of trial and errors. Once you dial in and you got it correctly, it just flows a lot easier. That's the first thing. Second thing is that when we were able to understand that the lead flow was coming in, then we were able to really dial in as far as what area are we contacting, who are we going to contact, and our audience, which is most important. That's I think that's a big problem that a lot of us agents feel in is we need to dial in who our audience is. Who do we need to target? Who is your ideal audience? Is it a first time home buyer? Is it an investor? Is it a community that has all inclusive? Is it a 55 plus community? So I think that those two factors right there. When we were able to understand exactly what our audience was, we were able to scale it to another level. And most importantly, holding our agents accountable. You know, once those leads come in and adding, no, I'm sorry, let's go this way. Third is actually add a CRM manager. Three, yeah.
Ooh, well, okay. On that, before you get started on that route, CRM manager, where did you find your CRM manager? Like, where'd you hire him from? And right after, tell me what that includes. What does he or she do?
Our CRM manager, we were very fortunate to we worked with him for the past 2 years, and he's actually my full-time employee. He works directly with me only. He reports to me. He's from the Philippines. What I love about him, he was very young. We put him through the training. He was 21 years old when he started working for me, so he's been almost 2 years with me. So I basically nurtured him really well,
I
and we
like
put him
that.
in our prospecting training with one of my partners, which is like one of the top prospectors in the nation, and together with my team. And my team, you know, the collaboration between the team and the CRM manager has been so efficient, Tristan, because they know each other. They hold each other accountable. They know exactly what needs to be done with the leads once they flow in. And his
Mm,
responsibility is basically follow up, nurture,
okay.
hold each other, hold the Whitley Lead Assist, which is the ISA department, and the agent accountable for their follow ups and the lead.
Okay.
That's
Got it.
yeah.
So those four main items, right? Do you have an in-house ISA team, or is that outsourced through what you were saying, Whitley?
No, that's outsourced through Whitley. Our
Got
ISAs
it.
right now, I'm running between 8 to 10 ISAs right now through Whitley Lead Assist with my lead flow.
Got it. Got it. So it's similar to like what we use. We use Conversion Monster. It's like a group of people. Got it. Ours is in Buffalo, New York, or Verse, which is in like San Diego. So similar to that
Yeah.
idea.
Right,
Got it.
similar to that.
Got it. And the CRM manager, because I think that's a very, very, very important piece to this, man. I want to dig deeper on that because even though some people listening in may not be ready for one, or they're thinking that they may be, right? I think it has to be on your radar. And if it already is, you've got to evolve that person into being more involved. I want to ask you questions around that CRM management type of person. How did you train them? Was it something that you just said, hey, go to YouTube, go to Follow Up Boss 101, or how did that training happen?
Well, first of all, follow up boss training is unbelievable. Not because we're here, but I love follow up boss, their follow ups and their trainings, and you guys are really doing a phenomenal job when it comes to that. I love that. Whatever I need, we get on the call all together. They work really well with the Whitley platform with Grant Wise because I have a CMO, which is Grant Wise, is my chief marketing officer. So everything, the collaboration between my Whitley platform and follow up boss together with my CRM manager has been, I mean, out of this world. You guys have done a phenomenal job. And I tell you, I've been with you guys over a year right now, and it's been amazing. Follow Up Boss has been nothing but I had nothing else to say but great things about him. Love
Good.
everything about the system. Um, a matter of fact, I just got off the phone with one of them because I'm implementing a system to it. So they just helped me with that too. So, I mean, they're
Nice.
very efficient, man. The efficient that you guys run is unbelievable, man. So let's get back to the CRM manager. Well, basically, what I did with him was I had to understand, first of all, he went through 2 interviews before I hired him. He went with myself, then he went with my partner, which is a great prospector. He's one of the top prospectors in the nation, and he trained my whole entire team. So I wanted to make sure that this culture was all going to work together. So when we interviewed them together, we got off the phone and he said, "This is your guy. I like him, very efficient." And I said, "Hey, if you can handle him or we can handle him, let's do it." So we put him through basically prospecting training scripts, follow-ups, um, ideal conversations, hard conversations, soft conversations, text message follow-ups, email campaigns. So he's basically been fully trained on exactly what steps to take once that lead comes in. First lead is text message. Second is email. Third lead, follow-up phone call. It's just 7 to 15 touches, man, and he's been doing phenomenal. He's like I told you, I think the big key for me, Tristan, was adding a CRM manager. It relieved me from the responsibilities that I was having because I felt at a point that I said, I need someone else. And I got with my chief marketing officer and he says, it's time. It's time.
Yeah.
I'm like, let's get it done. So I was able to take my CRM manager, which was my ISA, and convert him into a CRM manager. Then I went with the lead assist. So that I tell you, man, it's not for everyone, but I know it's perfect timing for me because I think when I found myself not being able to leave my desk, with just too many responsibilities when it comes to running a systems and running a team and all that, it was hard for me. So I had to focus on what was going to be the most important time efficient for me. And I had to include him in there, bring him on as my CRM manager, fully train him through the follow-up ball system, through the Whitley system, which he already knew that. But the connections there and the my lender's ISA, which a lot of people don't have that. My lender happened to have an ISA department, which are phenomenal too. So with
Yeah.
that, it's been very efficient and very just running correctly. That's how I've been able to scale. I'll be honest with you, Tristan. I've been able
Yeah.
to look at my numbers and dial in a lot more, man. And that's where I recommend. Data says it all. Track your numbers. Like right now, I average $367 per closing at $12,000 per lead per closing. So you do the numbers. Those are phenomenal numbers.
That's beautiful, man. I love that. And I agree with you. It has a lot to do with the people that you hire that allow you to do more of what you should be doing, right? And in this case, the CRM manager. What other things now are you looking forward to implementing over the rest of this year? Because we've got about 2.5 months left. What are you either implementing now or looking at and saying, maybe I should add this piece?
Yeah, well, right now we're working on adding the Google LDS. We wanted to add because now it's time to add another lead source, and now we're working with Google right now, which is important for us to implement at this moment, especially now at the times that we're in. GLS, I'm sorry, the Google GLS. We're working on that right now to really continue scaling it because I have so many leads coming in right now that my chief marketing officer said, "Hey, I think it's time to now add another lead source in there." So we're adding the Google LS now to because it's time right now, especially when with the shift in marketing and everything. You want to be able to get as many reviews as they can. Make sure that your algorithms are high enough. And that way, when they look you up, they know exactly who you are. So that's one of the things that we're working on right now, adding that.
I like that. All right. So you mentioned other lead sources, right? You're going to go into Google local service ads. What would you say are the primary? Give us a few so we know where leads are coming from and you're closing transactions from. Where does that look like? Past client sphere, open houses, Google, Facebook. What is it?
Facebook and Instagram. A lot of it, the majority of it is coming from there, and then past clients also. Like right now, we're running an 80-20, 80-20, 80 being past clients, follow-ups, and the 20 is basically the lead source, which is pretty good for us. We've been averaging that somewhere in the last couple of years, 20% increase on the company. So it's been pretty good on the team.
I like that, man. I like it a lot. So you mentioned Instagram and Facebook. Are we looking at just lead ads, retargeting, or are you doing organic?
Lead ads and retargeting. We're running. What we try to do is basically we have. If we put an ad out there, Tristan, we want to make sure that it's all aligned with other retargeting ads. So, for instance, we set up basically a strategy. Like right now, if I'm going to talk about the changing market and what to expect as a buyers, so I'll do a video on that. But then the retargeting ads, I'll add maybe my lender talking about a new special program. Hey, you know what? We have the cash buyer program that'll help you purchase a home while you're still trying to list your home. So the last one we did had to do with that, because I noticed that the shifting market. So we quickly jumped on this in February of this year before the market started shifting. And it was an amazing turnout. So we focused on, I took all my lead spend and flipped it to listings, to sellers. So once we figured that out, we dialed in. I did an ad on listing the importance of the 3 steps of a seller, what to prepare themselves with. Then we did 3 retargeting clips. One was with my lender, one was with a past client that I closed with, how the smooth transition he went through when I sold this house and he purchased another house without even leaving his property. The importance of doing so it's all aligned. We try to do a case system, a case management system, that way we align all the ads with one another.
I love that, man. That's good. Let's talk about your audience then, because I'm assuming when you're making these short videos or longer ones that are retargeting people, you're retargeting a specific audience. Who is that?
When this one dropped out, this was seller leads. This was all sellers.
All sellers.
All sellers on this one. The one I just spoke about is all sellers, and that could be sellers that I sold a property 2 years ago, 3 years ago, or 4 years ago, or it could be a seller that at the moment right now is thinking about selling but unsure if they're going to be able to afford another house. So those are the ones that we're targeting, because when you think about it, that's huge right now. That is huge.
Upsizing more so than downsizing, or both? Would you say?
Okay. Actually, sometimes it's both.
Got it. All right. Just so people understand, like when they're creating ads or they're trying to go further on lead generation, the audience is important too, so that you're talking to that right audience. Josue, when it comes to your specific market in Orlando, how has that shifted over just the last few months?
Oh, wow. All right. The last few months, you can see the change in the market, Tristan, as far as homes are sitting in the market a lot longer than the 2 or 3 days that they were before. Now it comes down to, when you sit down with these sellers, you have to be very specific with them and understand that, hey, you know what? I know you're interested in selling your home, but when the market that we're in right now wasn't the market 6-7 months ago. Now we're going to make sure that we do this strategically correctly. Now you're not going to look at multiple offers as much as you did. Yes, we are seeing them still, but not as crazy as they were 6-7 months ago. So now we got to be prepared to work together and really dial in to exactly what is the main price we're going to put this property to sell. And most importantly, I think what I always recommend to my clients and my agent is, we need the traffic to come into the home. If we don't have enough traffic coming in, then we're not going to be able to get the highest price possible for the home.
And how do you translate that to the seller, saying, hey, we're going to get traffic in these ways? Tell me that.
Yeah.
I want to.
All right. The way I tell them is, so if the average sales price of the home, say for instance, is 400,000, what I try to tell them is, we're not going to go above 400. We're going to come slightly underneath it, say around 390, 394.9, and just be able to understand that we're going to be so competitive in the market in your community that the homes that are all there above listed, they're not going to get as much traffic as you are. And that 395, 400,000 that we're targeting may turn out to be a 405, 410. You're still going to get seller. We're still in the seller's market, believe it or not. People seem like it's not, but if it's priced right, we are. Rebecca and I have been very fortunate to be able, to be in this business for 16 years, Tristan. So we kind of like, we've been through all the markets. Yeah, we've been through the bad, the good, the bad, and the good, So that's helped me really learn so much of the transitions and the changes in the market that I'm able to understand. I'm not 100. Listen, we all learn every single day. I always say that I'm learning something new, but I kind of understand how the market fluctuates when I'm in the changing market.
Yeah. Very true, man. Very true. I like that. All right. So then tell me, what else are you looking at to add over the next few months? Because the market's shifting really quick. And although in some areas it's trending downward more, in some areas it's a little stable. You're in Florida. Your market seems to be healthier than probably the rest of the nation. So what are you looking to do here?
Actually, what I'm looking to do right now in the next couple, this year coming up is just to continue consistency, man. It's the most important. We have to stay consistent with what we're really good at. Most importantly, I want to be able to continue implementing and bringing so much value to sellers and buyers, not just sellers and buyers. Because remember, if you're working with sellers, they're gonna bring buyers. So buyers, you're working with both parties. So I think the most important thing is just we've been doing it for 16 years. We're working together, and what I've learned is that I never shy away from a seller or a buyer. I work with both, and my agents are very well trained with it also. So I think if we continue bringing the best value to our sellers and our buyers and making them understand, which is the most important thing, communication has to be key when it comes to the change and shifting market that we're in right now. As far as, hey, this is what you need to expect. This is what you're going to expect as a buyer. This is what you're going to expect as a seller. So what my key as the team leader is just to continue implementing the right message and the right value to our audience and continue scaling it. That's
I
what
like
matters.
that. It reminds me, I don't know who said this, but it reminds me when you said consistency. Consistency creates the expert, really, in the eyes of everyone. So that is very key, man. There's a question. It says, hello, Josue. Are you using Ylopo for Google and Facebook retargeting?
No, I'm not. I'm just using just straight Google right now. And we're working with Google, but I use I just Facebook and IGs. And basically, right now, I'm not using Ylopo because Whitley Lead Assist, they have AI, so they're basically doing the AI for me already. The ISA.
Got it, man. Got it. Are there any other pieces of tech or companies that you implement with Follow Up Boss that make the job easier for the agent, for your staff, or for you?
Whitley, I've been with Whitley for over 5 years, so I can just
Nice.
speak about what I've done. So with Whitley Lead Assist, that with Willie, that's helped me understand and learn the process. Man, it got dark on me. Sorry.
That's all
Um,
right, dude. Did you guys
uh,
lose power?
I don't know. It kind of went down a little bit. Yeah.
Well, I know
So
you, it was raining. It was just
there
about
you
to
go.
rain. There it is. There it is. It
Yeah,
was just
sorry.
about to rain. There you
So
go.
with Whitley, I've been able to understand and learn this process. I like I told you, I think every system. You know what? The systems that work is the one you really dial in and work with. You understand, Tristan? At the end of the
Yeah.
day, I work with what's worked for me in the last 5 years, and I've been able to understand. This is how I've been able to understand how to build ads, how to build my own ads, how to learn and dial in the importance of how to strategically build an ad, how to
Yeah.
understand how the system works, how to really build around the system, which is most important, because a lot of times I've noticed that we can have a CRM, but what else is next? What else are you implementing with the CRM to help you get to where you want to go? That's when Follow Up Boss came in and just made it so efficient for us that I was missing in my systems. Once I was able to understand how easy Follow Up Boss was and implement it together, man,
Yeah.
it just made it so much easier to really for the leads just to flow and really track them and follow ups and everything. So that's
I
what
like
I've
that. Do you use an IDX? I don't know much about Whitley, but is
yeah,
there an IDX that you connect to Follow Up Boss,
yeah.
like a website? Who do you use?
Well, that since we already have KB Core through our company, the IDX I'm only leveraging
Oh,
is it's
got
KB Core
it.
IDX for now. But sometimes, like with my Google, we're trying to run those through my website, my Soto Legacy Group website.
Got it. Got it. Got it. All right. So we currently use the IDX and website from Ylopo. So because it works so well with Follow Up Boss, but you already have KV Core, so it makes a lot of sense, man. Totally.
Yeah.
I love that, man. All right. So tell me 2023, you do well with online leads. It sounds like you do great with those. You do well with past clients and your sphere. What's the plan in 2023 for taking it up a notch just with your past clients and sphere? I know you got to be thinking about it. So what does that look like in your head?
Honestly, I like to add more team members because I think right now there's going to
Oh,
be a lot of struggling agents out there, Tristan.
yeah.
And I think it's our responsibilities as veterans, because let's be honest with you, anyone after 5 or 6, 7 years, we're veterans in this business, and especially if you have been here 10, 15 years. I think right now, when you look at 2008, we lost 357,000 agents, through that time. I think it's our responsibility and our time to really help some of these agents out, help build their business, and help them understand the importance of how to work in this market, and help them really, really help them understand how important it is to really learn and dial in. Because if you become successful in this market that we're about to approach right now, Tristan, you'll be able to survive any market. You and I both know that, seriously.
Yeah.
So I think my important is build, be able to help more agents out, continue building my community, which is most important. That's what we're passionate about, and
Yeah.
helping our community out, which is important also. I think that when we're able to really go out there and pour into our community, it comes back to us tenfold, man. So it's important. That's where my heart is always. And I just want to be able to go out there and help our local businesses. You'd be surprised how many local businesses you can go in and just really help them out. They'll be able to really help you with your business. So I think it's just basically making it simple. I think
Yeah.
a lot of times we really just can't really look too hard into it, man. I think that right now, which is important to me, that's what it is. I want to help more agents out.
I like that, man. Simplifying the process. You know what's interesting on that, just on that, because the more people you bring in, the more they can help out with past clients, fear, and clients in general.
Yeah,
Florida has the largest number of head count for agents. You have 221,000, I think, or so.
yeah,
The second is California, and third is Texas. So
Texas.
there
Yeah.
you go, man. There you go.
Well,
Big
and and
opportunity.
and I tell you, one of the things, Tristan, that I can tell you is that we're if you want to leave a legacy in your community, that's how people are going to remember you as a leader. You want to be able to pour into your agents and pour into your community, because at the end of the day, that's the legacy I want to leave. I want people to remember me of what I've given back. That's the most important thing. I think that a lot of times we tend to forget what's our purpose here. That's our purpose. That's my purpose.
I agree, man.
Build more leaders and be able to leave a legacy of love, kindness, and just respect for our community, man.
I like that. I'll say, where do we follow you? Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, where do we go?
You can follow me on IG _Josue Soto Legacy _. You can follow me on Facebook, Josue Soto,
I'm
and
following you right now.
Soto Legacy Group, Facebook Soto Legacy Group. And also you can follow us on IG also with Married in Real Estate. My wife and I wrote a book called Married in Real Estate also. So we're authors.
Oh,
So
nice, man.
so we have all four of them.
I like that. I see you right here. I'm trying to follow you on all of them. I got you on Josue Soto Legacy. There you go. Underscore Josue Soto _ Legacy. I'm
Yeah.
just gonna grab it there so people can follow you, because it's probably where they. And if they have any questions, I'm pretty sure they can reach out to you there, right, buddy?
Oh, anytime, man. They can feel free to reach out to me anytime.
There you go. I don't know if you've been told this, but have you ever watched The Punisher on Marvel and Netflix? You look
You
like the
know,
Punisher with that hat, bro. I'm like,
you know what? Someone
you're
else
just
told me.
you're just missing the t-shirt with the skull. I'm just gonna say it. There you go.
Dude, and you know what's funny? I was hooked on that show, man. I started watching it. My son got me into it. I got hooked with it. I was like, I gotta stop this, man. I gotta get back to work.
Well, there you go, man. Thanks for being on. We appreciate you, follow boss.
Thank you, Tristan, man. Appreciate you always.